Tinubu must reverse fuel food price to what he met. Nigerian youth group backs protests. The group, which made its position in a statement issued on Thursday and signed by its national coordinator Aradomoye Michael and national secretary Francis Nwapa, said, "You can't beat a child and expect the child not to cry." Welcome back to our channel. This news channel keeps you updated in everything going on in your country, Nigeria. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Listen to the news in full. The Youth Rights Campaign (YRC) has expressed its full support for the planned nationwide protest End Bad Governance in Nigeria. Protests and called on Nigerians who are dissatisfied with the prevailing condition of hunger and hardship in Nigeria to join the protest. The group, which made its position in a statement issued on Thursday and signed by its national coordinator Daramoye Michael and national secretary Francis Nwapa, said, "You can't beat a child and expect that child not to cry." The YRC said that President Tinubu administration could not subject the Nigerian working people and youth to an unpredicted level of starvation and hardship while expecting them not to react. According to the group, Nigerian people are not slaves. To this extent, we want the police and other security agencies to abort any sinister agenda to thwart the planned peaceful protest through arrest, intimidation, and violent crackdown. We also urge all those who are preparing to come out for protests in August not to be afraid due to the threats by the security agency. Protest is a fundamental human right. If this right was not considered during the dark days of military authoritarianism, definitely it will not be considered now. The last 1 year of the Tinubu administration has been a traumatic period for the working class and poor, including the youth, who have suffered back-to-back neoliberal attacks that have further worsened their living condition. Even layers of the middle class are not left out of the mindless attack on living conditions that have led to horrific level of starvation. In this desperate condition, only mass struggle can begin to resolve the situation. To this extent, we urge all genuine pro-working people organizations, youth groups, and trade unions to support the planned protest. Specifically, we task the NLC and TUC leadership not to take a position of neutrality on this protest. We take cognizance of a public statement by the NLC President Joe Ajiro affirming the right to peaceful protest and urging the federal government to meet with protest leaders with a view to meeting the demand. However, we say this is not enough. The YRC said that as a matter of urgency, the NLC and CUC need to publicly back the protest and begin immediate mobilization of members nationwide to down to and join. We also call for the setting up of democratically constituted protest coordinating committee across state and local governments in the country to ensure proper coordination of the process. This process has come necessarily because we cannot take it anymore. For example, youth unemployment has risen to 35%, with most youth working as casual worker in factory earning less than $1 a day. Christ of God. Feeding has become practically difficult, which means many have to depend on family and friends for support, or in worst cases resort to crime or prostitution to survive the harsh economic conditions. People have even overborrowed money from loan app in which they can't afford to pay back because of the price of things in the country. Food inflation jumped to a 38 in February 2024, and by April it is already at 40.53%, and by May 2024 the naira became the worst performing currency globally. Poor Nigerians are dying daily due to hunger. In February 2024, not less than 7 lives were lost and several others hospitalized when a stampede occurred during the scale of subsidies. 25 kg of rice for 10,000 naira at the Nigerian Customs Service office, Yaba, Lagos. Also, on Sunday, 24th March, we had the death of a 14 years old Aisha Usman alongside 6 other women and an 8-year-old child in a community in Bauchi State. They died in a stampede during a food sharing event. Holy Jesus. Similarly, 2 days before the Bauchi strategy was the avoidable death of 2 female students of Nasarawa State University, Caliph Rose Michael, Psychological Department 400 level, and Grace Danlade Enope, Computer Science Department 200 level, who were trampled to death during a crowd surge when the state government embarked on growing distribution on campus alongside 22 other students who were hospitalized because of food hungry. Jesus. This avoidable strategy were triggered by the anti-poor capitalist policy of the Tinubu APC administration, which have thrown many more Nigerians into poverty. This neoliberal policy include fresh subsidy removal, communalization of education and floating of naira, and increase in electricity tariff, all of which led to job losses amidst several other devastating consequences, the group said. According to the group, it is result as Nigeria, being the largest crude oil producer in Africa, does not have working refineries, but casts such responsibilities on the profit-first driven Dangote refinery. The YRC said the truth is that if public refineries are working optimally and more were built, there will not be a need for either importation or subsidy. Instead of fixing the public refineries and taking the oil and gas industry under public and democratic control so that the problem can be solved once and for all, President Tinubu chose to instead remove subsidy, devalue naira, thereby opening the value of mindless increase in pump price of petroleum products to the detriment of the working class and poor, and they keep putting on different unnecessary tax that people must pay. Why? Similarly, the devaluation of naira is an import-dependent economy, as Nigeria has contributed to the continuous rising of food and services. It is worrisome that agriculture, which used to be the ministry of Nigerian economy in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, no longer attracts serious public investment. Imagine. For example, the over 20 farm settlements and 5 agricultural institutes established in 1960 by the then Western religion under Obafemi Awolowo have completely been abandoned or left in ruin. Yet, Nigeria depend about 7.9 trillion annually on food importation when we can grow this food in our own country. Such a whopping amount and more is invested in democratically controlled public large farms can make it possible for Nigerians to become food self-sufficient, especially since our country has the largest arable land in Africa with 34 million acres. As a matter of urgency, the YRC call on the youth and working people to demand that Tinubu government reverse this anti-poor policy, because it is becoming too much that we can't pay anymore. So my country people, I don't see, make this government for do wetin they supposed do for this country to better. No, they talk say Jagaban they cook something, we go soon see the results we will never see since he enter seat. dis country don tire person